there are some things that you will do that will leave you feeling so crap. You will ask yourself, do I ever need to do that again? Is it really necessary for me to do that thing again? Because it really didn't feel good. For me, over the past few years, I've got a few things that are just like, I don't need to do that again. And I thought it'd be worthwhile for me to share with you the small list that I've compiled of things that literally, man, you can just let go. You can just renounce forever. Because honestly, man, they just don't work. Number 1, waking up in the morning, but laying in bed and doing nothing. So you're up, but you're not really up because you're laying in bed and you're idle. This is not a good idea. I'm sure you know. Honestly, man, I can't recall a time where this has been useful. Maybe the only time ever in my life has been when I've been lying there and I've been thinking about ordering some stuff on Amazon, and then I've just ordered it right there, lying down. Otherwise, man, I'll be completely real with you. This is the time where PMO urges will arise because you're just doing nothing. Now, for me personally, man, I don't even use PMO anymore. That's completely out of my life. However, even now, if I'm lying there doing nothing, the thoughts will come and I'm like, what am I doing? So even now, having made all those shifts, having completely transformed my mind, my paradigm, my lifestyle, everything, if I'm lying there, that's not good, man. That's dangerous. If you're on this path, especially if you come from the kind of no-fat retention side of things, you know that the mind can become just really unwise and really tempted when you're almost actively being undisciplined. Because there's discipline in getting out of bed, especially when you have that first opportunity. Generally speaking, man, you just don't want to be anywhere near this, I'm going to call it a state of mind. It's the lethargic, lazy, undisciplined state of mind that you want to keep yourself very, very far away from, because that's your mind, dude. That's your mind. You got to understand that, obviously you're not your mind, you are spirit, your consciousness. But, it goes deeper than that. Not only are you not your mind, you're definitely not your mind in these lower moments, in these moments where you're really tempted or you're really swayed by desire. Number 2, what is the second bad habit that we can just let go forever, that we can just renounce? What it is scrolling on your phone until your brain becomes fried. When you're on your phone so much that you've just completely overstimulated your mind, and now maybe you've got a bit of a headache, but really just anything you do is just dissatisfactory. It's kind of sour. It's kind of dull. Food doesn't taste as nice. Music is just spoilt. In conversation, you're just not as present. Isn't it interesting how that's the opposite of what we want, right? You've got to start noticing how doing things that, generally undisciplined things lead you to low consciousness. Isn't that funny? Whereas disciplined things, meditation, even just getting up in the morning, you've won a mental battle. It's like you gain spiritual momentum. It's weird, man. But you do. You will get up in the morning, like first alarm, second alarm, and you'll have this spiritual momentum as you go about your day. Now, I'll be completely honest with you, man. You will need to overdo it. You will need to, have that headache or be numb and be like a zombie after you've overdone the social media or overdone the scrolling. That's okay. We use the suffering for learning. We overdo it a few times or a few dozen times or maybe even a few hundred times so that for the rest of our lives, we don't need to be scrolling a bunch. We can be meditating instead. What I love to do these days is in times where most people are scrolling, I just like to sit and be. And for me, man, that's rewarding. That feels good. Number 3, the third bad habit you can just release forever from your life is eating sugary foods too early in the day. So I'll be honest, sugary foods, we all like to have them sometimes. That's all good. I'm not suggesting you completely renounce sugar. That can be pretty hard. What I am suggesting though is that don't eat tons of sugar early in the day, like before 6 p.m., right? What you'll see is that it will throw you off for the rest of the day, right? Sugar, it's really not good for us, okay? And in particular, mentally, it will throw you off. I know physically it will throw you off too, but what you got to realize is that your mind and body are one. So, what kind of fuel are you putting into your body? You've also got to think about what kind of fuel you're putting in for your mind. Now, again, you're going to need to be imperfect. You're going to need to mess this up. You're going to need to overdo it with the sugary foods. You're going to need to have them for breakfast, let alone early, in the day at some point. I used to have tons of sugar for breakfast, man. You've got to do it wrong for a while. You've got to do it incorrectly. You've got to suffer. Then you learn. Then you see, man, that's going to really throw me off balance. I'm not going to be able to stabilize or have a good state of mind, which is necessary for a good life, if I'm having that sugar, too early in the day. Awesome. We're going to wrap things up there, man. Remember, you can easily overlook these things and live a kind of crappy, mediocre life, or you can handle these things and live a good and disciplined life. And that is what I recommend. All right, man, that's going to be it for us. Take care. And as always, my friend, peace.